to your question, Lynn Hall, the contract situation with Willian is that it is up in 2020. So he's on a decent contract at Chelsea currently. So that's the story to start off with, really. Jose Mourinho apparently making a last audacious bid for Willian. And where do I stand on this? I think Willian might be a smokescreen for Lamar, who is a smokescreen for Perisic, who is a smokescreen for Alexis Sanchez, who is a smokescreen for Riyad Mahrez, who is a smokescreen for keeping Ashley Young and Lingard. That's my theory. But no, I joke. This Willian thing, I fall between two lines on this. It's literally come out in the last hour that Manchester United have made a last-minute bid for Willian from Chelsea. And what I would say about Willian, he's only just turned 29. He is Premier League proven. I was talking about him last night. Somebody mentioned him on the show last night and I said, look, he'd be brilliant. I would take Willian over Perisic, over Lamar, over everybody, because he's Premier League proven, and Mahrez is better than him, and he's on fire, and he's exactly what Mourinho would want in them sort of wide positions. He's right-footed, he can play the old left side and cut in, but I'd want him on the right putting crosses in, and he's fantastic at putting crosses in. He'd be a dream signing. He would have been a dream signing in May, so to do it on the last day of window, there is no desperation to it. It's a great signing. I just don't feel it can happen. It's come from nowhere, absolutely nowhere. It's come from Neil Custis in The Sun is where I've read it. What I would say is, and I've said this consistently, there's two things that are happening here. It's either clickbait on the last day just because you put a United article out there and everyone gets excited and reads it and it's manipulative, or there's an element of truth in it. And if you want to cling on to something, and you know what, life should be about that. You should cling on to something. If you want to cling on to a little bit of positivity about this, Neil Custis was right about Rooney. And he was right about Michael Carrick being captain. And I think he was right about Lukaku. But he was certainly very much ahead of the game about Rooney and his retirement by about 4 days. He's probably been the best United source this summer, which for a lot of people, they won't like that because they don't like the Sun. But Neil Custis works for the Sun, and in relation to Manchester United, he's certainly been the best source this summer. I mean, to be honest, there's not been very good sources at all. Marcio's not been good this summer. Nobody else has. So you could cling on to that positivity. But Ravens Claude's just made a very good point as well. Mahrez to Chelsea is apparently going to happen. Well, Mahrez to Chelsea, I said this last night, didn't I? I said, or yesterday lunchtime. There's a few things going to happen today, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. But from a Manchester United perspective, if we get a winger in today, I don't care if Sanchez goes to City. I don't care if Lamar goes to Arsenal. It makes them stronger, but we focus on ourselves. And we just need a winger. It's not about being a petulant, spoiled little brat saying, oh, they're getting that, so we need that. I think most Manchester United fans are frustrated today because we know that Mourinho wanted 4 signings and one of them was a winger and he's only got 3. We get that fourth. Somebody said it this morning. If we'd got Perisic in June and all we had was Lindelof, Perisic, Matic, Lukaku, we'd have been sat here today, feet up, going, we've got what we need. Let everyone else do what they want. Oh yeah, you know, Sanchez is a good signing for City, but we've got what we need. I'm not jealous or brattish about what other clubs are doing. I just don't like what they're doing if we don't get that one position that we need. So, yes, what I was saying yesterday was that Chelsea already have Hazard, Pedro and Willian. Now, if they were to sign Mahrez, does that keep their wingers happy? I mean, they've got 4 very good wingers if they keep Willian as well. Or does Mahrez to Chelsea or Draxler to Chelsea or some winger to Chelsea mean that they'll give Willian away? £35 million is what they're being quoted. Personally, Jared Pesserman's just actually confirm something that I'd heard before I came on air. I should actually just update you all with what's happening. So Jared Pesserman says that Mahrez has just landed in Barcelona, picture proof. I don't know what Barcelona are doing because let me update you with what I know is going on. So the Liverpool situation is that I mean, if we sign nobody today, the best transfer day we can hope for is that Liverpool sign nobody else other than Oxlade-Chamberlain, Robertson and Salah. That Chelsea don't sign anybody, although I'm not really worried about Chelsea. That Alexis Sanchez doesn't go to City. They're the 2 things that I would hope for. Because, look, you know, I've got no respect for Liverpool. I never have. You can put that on my tombstone. I've got no respect for Liverpool. But they have signed Andy Robertson, who's a very good... he's a good left back. They've signed Salah, who's a decent winger. They've signed Oxlade-Chamberlain, who's Premier League proven. And if they also sign Lamar and Van Dijk, that's five signings that improves a team that finished above us. And I think that's the concern. It's all right saying, oh, Liverpool won't win the title. I don't think they will. But they finished above us in the league, and they've made 5 signings to our 2.5. So there's also talk that Arsenal are going to sign Lamar and sell Sanchez to City. Well, Lamar at Arsenal, I don't think he makes them any stronger because they've lost Sanchez. So that doesn't bother me too much. But selling Sanchez to City is farcical. But Arsenal are a farcical club. They won't sell. Look, you know what? There's been a bit of hope that we would have bid for Sanchez and got Sanchez in, and I'm sure many people wanted that to happen. It was always very, very unlikely. But for Arsenal to sell him to sell Sanchez to City is, you know, they've sold so many players there, and they seem to have this obsession with not selling to United but selling to City. Let them crack on. If we can pull off this Willian deal in the last few hours, I would walk away from this transfer window and shut it away and say I don't want anything to do with you ever again. You've not been enjoyable, but we've got what we wanted from it. Can we pull it off? Can we pull Willian off? Oh God, you say some things you don't wish you hadn't said. Can we pull this Willian deal off in the last few hours? I'm going to lean no. I've got to lean no. There are literally hours left. Where is Willian? Is he in Brazil? But I would be absolutely ecstatic with it. I really would. There's a lot of negativity going around on Twitter. I've sort of I agree with it, but from 11 o'clock tonight or whenever the transfer window shuts, we've just got to shut our mouths about it and get on with it because Mourinho's got to. We know what the issue is. And if the club don't rectify that issue, that's down to them. Sean Atwood's made a contribution. He says, please be true. I've wanted Willian for several years. Thanks for doing videos on your vacation. You're the real MVP. I thought he said the real Pep. Don't want to be the real Pep. Jignash says it's not happening. Arsenal handing the title to rivals again, says Liam McD. I'd have more respect for Arsenal if they didn't sell Sanchez, but they should have sold him 3 weeks ago. Wait until the last day. If you're an Arsenal fan, you must be absolutely gutted, but you know I'm not, so I'm lucky. We're not getting Willian, says Dino. It doesn't feel like we would, but all I've got is, if you want to cling on to it, all I can say is this: Neil Custis has been right this summer about Manchester United, and who's to say we're not? You know, we might be late. We might be making a late bid. I mean, there's making a late bid that could be true, but all you've got is probably Chelsea saying, you know, take the L. You're not having him. He'd have to force the move like Matic. Ian says I'd love Willian to come, but I don't think Chelsea would agree, which I would agree with. Sanchez or Willian? That's a bloody good question. Very, very good question. Recap please, says Brendan Smith. So Neil Custis from The Sun, about an hour ago, he's come out and said that Manchester United have made a late bid for Willian. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I agree with trying to sign Willian. I'd be ecstatic. I'd take him over most wingers we've been linked to this summer. I'd take him over Lamar, over Perisic, over Draxler. Yes, I'd probably even take him over Bale. As stupid as that sounds, I probably would take him over Bale because he is what we need, a specialist winger. I think Bale and Sanchez are more forwards, whereas Willian is only ever going to play on the wing. That's his job, and he can play left and right. I don't really think we need a Bale or a Sanchez who's like a, you know, they'd be nice, but you know, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're doing well. We've got a great team morale. We just need a specialist winger, and Willian would give that. So Neil Custis has said that we have bid for him as a late bid. He called the Rooney deal 3 or 4 days before it happened, and he called the Carrick captaincy 3 or 4 days before it happened, and I think he called Lukaku. I wouldn't like to be 100% about Lukaku, but he definitely did that. Amar says he wakes up and sleeps to my voice. Subs. Thanks, Amar. We put a bid in that will certainly be rejected. Chelsea fan banter incoming. Yeah, maybe we leave ourselves open to that. Dane says, if we could sign Willian, what do you think would happen with Mkhitaryan? Dane, we get a lot of this. What will happen to Martial and Rashford if we sign a winger? What happens to Mkhitaryan if we sign a winger? Look, from my point of view, all I can say is this. I don't understand people who say, oh, you'll be moaning about Martial and Rashford not playing. I won't be moaning about Martial and Rashford playing. If we get 2 injuries to this squad, our first team squad, we're back to Lingard and Fellaini starting. Simple as that. Willian comes in or the winger, whether it was Perisic or whoever, they were coming in. Yes, they were going to be a specialist winger and they were probably going to start, but they were also going to provide us a bit of squad depth in our attacking positions, which we currently don't have. Martial pulls his hamstring and he's out for 6 weeks. Rashford turns his ankle and he's out for 2 months. Lingard and Ashley Young step up. That's what our depth is. We don't have depth in the attacking positions. Mkhitaryan's not even a winger. Mata is a certain type of player. And then you've got Rashford, Lukaku and Martial. And that's all we've really got. Pereira, is he going to play him? How's Centre Parks, Mark? It's going very well, says from playlist account. Okay, what we'll do is, I'm going to cut it off there. There's going to be a lot of news coming in through this afternoon. If we sign anybody, obviously I'll be back. Mahrez has left the Algerian squad, so he's out, probably at Barcelona now. Somebody said, what's your prediction, what's going to happen? At this late stage, if you want my prediction on what's going to happen, and we'll revisit at we're live again at 8:30 tonight. So my big predictions are, Lamar will go to Arsenal, City will get Sanchez, Chelsea will get Ross Barkley, Spurs have already signed Aurier, Mahrez will go to Barcelona, and Draxler will stay at PSG, and United will do anything. So Alexis Sanchez to City, Lamar to Arsenal, Chelsea will get Ross Barkley, Spurs have already got Aurier, and I said Lamar to Arsenal, and we'll do no business. Liverpool, I think, might get Van Dijk, and that'll be them done. But we'll review. We're going to do this show tomorrow. We're going to do a show tomorrow reviewing the transfer window. But ultimately, we'll talk about it at 8:30, and we'll see where we are. Lynn Hall, started with you, so I'll finish. She says, we need quality and depth in our squad. All our quality players will get loads of games, even if we sign a winger or a fullback, which I would agree with. Mahrez is in Barcelona. I'd take Mahrez, by the way. I would take Mahrez. I would, yeah. Thanks, everyone. Back tonight, 8:30, unless something happens in between. It's a madness. It's a madness, the transfer window. But as I said, either we get Willian or Mahrez, or the next thing I'm hoping for is that Sanchez doesn't go to City. And if we can get out the transfer window with that, then it's better than nothing. What we don't want is to be in the position we're in, and then all our rivals have strengthened at 11 o'clock tonight. Thanks, everyone. Speak to you all at 8:30, and it's going to be interesting. Very interesting. 8:30 tonight, live. See you all then.